My name is Kelly French. I work for Brandon Sand and Gravel in Denver, Colorado. Um, and I am a project manager, and this will be my 6th paving season with Brandon in Denver. Absolutely. I definitely felt like an outsider when I first started in the industry. My first paving season, I was 21 years old, and I was a woman, and I had very little experience, but all of a sudden I was thrown into the field and I was in charge of crews, and I was having to tell them what to do. And guys that have been in the industry for longer than I have been alive, or double as long as I have been alive, were not thrilled about the fact that they all of a sudden had to take orders from a 21-year-old girl. So I am very fortunate in the fact that I am fluent in Spanish. Um, so that made a huge difference, because I would say that 90% of the guys on our paving crews are Hispanic. And so being able to approach them in their language and communicate with them in that way, kind of some of the respect that I may have lost from being young and being a woman, I gained back by being able to communicate with them in Spanish and be able to just, I don't know, talk with them, be friends with them, like develop more of a relationship than, hey, this needs to be 2 inches thick, rather than just having that level of communication, being able to actually talk with them and get to know them. Now I'm really good friends with all of the guys on all of our paving crews, and they're all super excited to come out to my jobs, because they know that when they come to my jobs that we're gonna work all day, and I have a plan, and the plan, if it doesn't work, then we're gonna come up with another plan, and we're still gonna get paid, and we're gonna put down 1,000 tons of asphalt a day. So I started out with Brandon as an intern between my junior year and senior year of college. I got my degree in civil engineering, and I started as an intern. Then after I graduated college, I was hired on full time as a project engineer. And I was a project engineer working with superintendents for a year or two. And then I was given projects to lead on my own. And um, then quickly, it, I was promoted to project manager around this time last year. So June of last year, I got promoted to project manager. So I have already seen the exponential growth that we can take in this industry. Just how quickly I've been able to rise to the level that I'm at now, just kind of shows that there really is no limit to, if you work hard and you put in the effort and you have good products, and you put in the work and it turns out really good, then you get rewarded for that. And the growth, there's no real ceiling to how high I can get in this industry. So I would say that I have noticed that it has been changing a little bit to this regard, but um, just seeing more women in the asphalt industry is always fun. I think that, women are smart. We've got a lot of potential. We can, whatever industry we decide to take over, we can take over by storm. So I think that I would like to see more women in the field, and I have seen more women in the field and more of the leadership roles like I am, rather than it used to just be that it was the traffic control or the tester that was the woman, and now it's really cool to see more women in leadership positions. Yeah, so I would say that anybody that's looking at coming into the asphalt industry is that there is so much room to grow. You can start at a really low level position and find yourself in even less than a year. If you start on a paving crew, if you show potential and you come and you work and you show that you want to be here and that you want to be learning, you will get accelerated into these leadership positions so quickly. Like the potential is limitless there. And no matter what, we're always going to need roads. Like our infrastructure is 100% built around roads and cars, and those aren't going anywhere anytime soon. There's always going to be roads to fix. So, especially in these times, it's been really apparent that, you know, we are essential workers. This is an essential portion of the infrastructure. There's always roads to fix. There's always going to be more projects. This sector isn't going anywhere. Um, it's a secure path to go into, and you know that you're going to grow a lot in the industry, and there's always going to be more opportunities for you to move between positions. If you don't like what you're doing and you see something else that you do like, there's always that room to, you know, move laterally and then move up the ladder as well. So I think the three words that I would use, the first one would be problem solving. So every day in this industry, I have a new problem to solve, and it's sometimes I can use what I have learned from the past, but a lot of times I have to take what I know and adapt it to a very specific situation. Um, the second thing I would say moving along with that would be adaptability. So if we have a problem and we can't solve the problem, then being able to adapt and change instead of just canceling the day's work, taking what resources you do have, adjusting what you're planning on doing, and still accomplishing something, or just moving on and coming back to the situation later. And then the third word that I would use would probably be rewarding. I think that being able to see what you do day in and day out, I think it's super rewarding. So I most recently have been on interstate projects for the past 3 summers. So that means that pretty much every day I drive over the roads that I have built. So I work on the interstate projects for CDOT. So I am the prime contractor for CDOT on those projects. So pretty much every day I get to drive over the roads that I've built and see from 5 years ago, this was this section of I-25 that I did. From 3 years ago, I did this section of I-25. Like just getting to see it day in and day out, what you're actually doing in the real world is just so rewarding. I think that, so I have been involved with the Women of Asphalt, obviously, and then I've also been involved with Transportation and Construction Girl. They are another organization, but they focus more on getting like high school age girls interested in the industry. Um, I think that if I can do enough like outreach, I am hiring on an intern that's a female this summer. Um, if we can try to get more women in the asphalt industry and really grow, we have a huge deficit of workers in the industry. We're always looking for more people. We are always hiring. So if we can get some of those positions filled with more capable women, I think that'll be a huge success. And then as far as like actually being on projects and like my legacy in that regard, I'd like to see my beautiful SMA paving highways last for another 10 years. So